Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today we are joined by Isaac Richardson and Football League expert Adam Reek, who runs the FBL 72 football account. Today we'd like to know more about Preston North End's latest signing, Ben Whiteman.
Yeah, actually, what would you like to know, mate?
Well, we've been sent in some questions. We'll start with, what is his ceiling as a player?
Yeah, well, his ceiling certainly isn't playing in League One. So obviously it's a great time for Preston. Personally, I think he can go above and beyond the Championship. I could certainly play in the Premier League, especially if you say look at a team like Burnley, who are very, very one-dimensional in the way they set up and play. You've seen players like Jack Cork then succeed. I think Ben Whiteman certainly has the ability to, I suppose, make that next jump, even now that he's in the Championship. So yeah, I think basically what I'm saying is very good signing.
What are his key attributes? What's he like as a player? What's his style of play?
Yeah, well, he's one of them where I suppose, look, we're all football fans. The second you get mentioned with the sign, straight on YouTube to have a look. But I suppose with Ben Whiteman, you can't really find much of him on YouTube because he's not really that player who's going to, create moments of magic in terms of like where people goes, oh, I'll quickly get my phone out, I'll record this, I'll get views. I think it's important to, I suppose, understand his game's very simple, but in what he does is brilliant. He's very authoritative on the pitch. He's built well. Big lad. He's great at anticipating the second ball. I think for me, especially where he plays his best football in a two-man pivot. Last season at Doncaster, he had Ben Sheaf alongside him. He's obviously now at Coventry. He came on loan from Arsenal. But yeah, I mean, he's good at, I suppose, outside the box, seeing danger, getting in there, taking the ball and playing it out wide, playing it quick. He's just clever, and he's good on the turn. He's good at playing around corners. He can receive it first time, whip it, or even better still, take a touch, move forward himself. I think that his style of play is basically on the ball. He's fantastic. He wants the ball. He'll never stop showing for the ball. I think that's important for Preston because I feel as if he's lacked that a little bit.
What did he mean to Doncaster fans?
Yeah, well, you can just see in the replies, I suppose, to his the post about him leaving. They are good. Like the very sad seeing going. I think he is their best player. I think he's by far and away one of the best players in League One. You look, I mean, at the moment they're playing Reece James in midfield now and again. They're having to reach out for midfielders. So to lose your best one, it's a big loss for him. And I suppose, especially with Doncaster, there's always a few teams that are currently in League One. Portsmouth and Peterborough, the teams that come down from the Championship. There's always a group of them that are always, I suppose, in the mix for promotion. With Doncaster, they'll always get in the conversation. They'll always be around that sixth, seventh place in the league. I think losing your big player like that will be very detrimental to them going forward this season, which is make sense. At the end of the day, he's the man to go to for performances. So, as a Doncaster fan, you will be very disheartened to see that move go through.
To finish off, if you had to compare him with one current Preston North End player, who would it be?
Personally, I don't think you have anyone like him. I think that's probably why you've signed him. I mean, just looking at his game, like I said, well, first of all, Ben Pearson, he's when you think of a pressing midfielder, it's Ben Pearson, isn't it? But his game, I suppose, is a bit more nibbly, getting on the ankles, a bit like Jack Russell. He doesn't give a midfielder a moment's rest. Whereas, and obviously when he's the ball, he wins it and he gives it away. Ben Whiteman, he's clever. He'll win it and he'll keep it because he's probably the best player around him for keeping the ball and for playing with him. I mean, just looking at some stats that I've got together here for him this season, he's got the third most amount of smart passes in League One. Now, a smart pass is, well, it's in the name, it's a pass that's smart. It's, I suppose, not the obvious ball, breaks the line, gets in between defenders, and he's got 24 of them, like I said. So that shows how good he is at, I suppose, passing. But not just that, it's his type of passes. He's got the second most passes into the final third this season for in League One, 285. He averages 14.68 per 90. That is honestly superb, and it's exactly what you need in midfielder, especially Preston. Because for me, I feel as if that link-up play between the defence and the attack just isn't there, and when it is there, it's far too slow with Preston at the moment. So you know, you're getting a player here who you can rely on. He'll always show for the ball. He'll come short. He'll receive it. He'll turn it. And he'll get it into the front men quickly. And I think that is, I suppose, his biggest strength. But not just that. I suppose, for me personally, your midfielders, I suppose, are separated into defensive midfielders and attacking midfielders. And I feel as if Ben Whiteman's kind of breaking that gap because he can do both. Personally, I think he's one of the best holding midfielders, certainly in the EFL, but recently he's added a lot more to his game going forward. So I don't know if you've seen that, but he scored a beautiful left foot volley
Yeah.
the other month. That just shows what he's capable of. He's got that magic in him. And secondly, the second question, who do I compare him to in real life? I'd say Declan Rice personally. If you want to go big and big shout out there, he's good when his shoulders are facing forward. He's good when his shoulders are back to goal. He's a little bit stiff in his hips. Obviously, you know, he's a big lad, but with that comes strength. You know, he can command that line just in front of the defence. He's a very, very, very clever player, I suppose. And I think, you know, if I'm comparing him to Declan Rice in obviously, no, he's not as good as him, but you know, his attributes are there, his style of play is there. The only difference between Declan Rice and Ben Whiteman is, I suppose, you're saving yourself 100 million.
Yeah, take that as a comparison.
It's not a bad comparison at all, is it?
No, not at all, I suppose. It's just
Right,
highlights
okay.
how good he is.
Yeah, we'll wrap that up there. Thanks for joining us, Adam. It's been
Cheers,
really
Adam.
helpful.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
Brilliant. Cheers, thank you.
See ya.